everybody. Welcome in to a brand new show from WeVideo. I'm Ryan at RK from WeVideo, and I'm joined for this new adventure by my co-host, Mr. Stu Jernigan. Hey, Stu.
Hey, Ryan. Good to be here with you. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining. Excited to be here today.
Well, I'm excited to launch this new series. That kind of came to life over the summertime. Those of you who are used to consuming content from WeVideo, you might know that typically we'll have longer form episodes or webinars in which we talk with guests or with folks like Stu or other members of the WeVideo team, or we bring in folks to present their work and what they do with WeVideo in their context. And, we decided to change it up a little bit. Now, we'll still be running longer form content on our webinars channels, and I'll give you all the information about that as well. But this show is designed to give you quick ideas to integrate multimedia content creation and interactive video into your classroom, into your school, into your school district. So we're hoping to bring you something new, something exciting, something fresh every single week on our Quick Tips with WeVideo YouTube show. It's going to be quick, as the title implies. So we hope that you tune in with us every Tuesday. We're going to be coming to you here on our YouTube channel, showing you some quick ideas that you can take back to your classroom, to your school, to your district every single week. So please subscribe to our channel. Please hit that notification bell so that you are notified and you are subscribed, and you can get all of the latest and greatest WeVideo content that we're going to be pumping out to you, sending you from wherever you're viewing from every single Tuesday. So we hope that you come and join us. Make this a habit as part of your day, maybe a before school view, maybe an after school view, but build us into your routine. Take us with you. You can watch it from your mobile. You can watch it on your desktop, wherever you consume your content from. We'll be here with you every Tuesday, sharing with you some great tips and tricks on how to use WeVideo.
Awesome. Yeah. And I'll just emphasize that, the sessions will be, relatively quick. So they'll be, easy to consume. They'll be actionable. So you'll walk away with something you can use in your classroom right away. And then we'll be featuring some cool editing tips and tricks too, to help you level up your creativity. So I think you'll walk away from these sessions with high value. So yeah, and I think they'll be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this time of the year, right, we're rolling into back to school. So Stu and I have come up with some content for the next few weeks over that back to school time period that will help you create community in your classroom, help give you some fun ways to kick off the year with creativity, and engage your students as they roll back into your classroom. So today we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of links for you. I've got a lot of information that we're going to share. All of those links that I'm sharing here will be available to you in the show notes below, so that you can click and access and follow along with us as we share with you what we have planned today. And so today's episode is on our August Creative Challenge and a specific assignment that Stu has designed. All of our content is going to come from the magical mind of Mr. Stu Jernigan here, my co-host. So he's going to take us through how you access this content, how you create it, how you share it with students, and then how you can, with our monthly creative challenges, how you can share on social media and win fun prizes for you in your classroom. So that's kind of how we're going to get rolling today. And then the next few weeks, we're going to share a lot of ideas about how you can integrate WeVideo into your classroom as soon as you get back to school. So today's our My Personality GIF assignment. Stu, do you want to kick us off? Show us and tell us what that assignment's all about.
Yeah. Can we share the slide for that?
Yep. Let me put that up on screen for you. There you go.
Awesome. Great. Yeah. So the activity we want to feature today is called My Personality GIF. And like Ryan said, this is our creative challenge for the month of August. And so the idea with this activity is that students would create a 4-quadrant GIF sharing video clips or images that represent, something about them. So, in total, 4 things about them. I created this one. So for example, I pulled a video clip from a trip I did in Alaska in Wrangell St. Elias National Park. It was a pack rafting trip, 5 days overnight in the wilderness. That's something that I love to do, is spend time in nature, and I love to pack raft. I also pulled a clip from a radio show that I host. And music's a passion of mine. It's been something that's connected me to community and friends throughout my life. I as part of that journey, was really into Miles Davis for a bit. Took a deep dive, and got into painting this jazz portrait series with watercolors. And so that's one of the paintings that I created. And that's a still image, but I animated it in the video using some tricks in the video editor. So I'll show you how I did that. And then, of course, I've got my puppy there, Timber, my dog now. He's him from a puppy who I love. So that's just sort of an example of how this activity, when shared, can help you get to know your students, and for them to get to know each other and get to know you a little bit better. And so this activity could be run having students share a whole class. It could be run having students share the GIFs they create in small groups, where they can ask questions of each other and get to know each other a little bit better. I actually shared this to X recently, and already had somebody post an idea about having students share this to like a digital pin board where they can comment on each other's work and ask questions on each other's work, and you can facilitate discussion and interaction digitally. So lots of ways you could adapt this to help build community in your classroom. So great back to school activity. Also something you could use any time of the year.
You make sure you follow us at WeVideo on Twitter, X. I know there's still some folks that are refusing to call it X. So Twitter, X, whatever it is to you, follow us there. Stu posts a ton of this content. So again, other ways to get his ideas integrated into your context. And I've seen this GIF a lot. Stu and I have worked together for the last 18 months. But I imagine Timber is a much bigger dog now, because this picture must have been taken like a year and a half ago almost.
He's quite a bit bigger. He's sitting at my feet. He's listening, and he's just as cute.
Nice.
But he is quite a bit bigger.
Great. And I think too, to speak to your point about doing this as a classroom, a whole group activity, it's the sharing component, which we'll focus on when we get into the editor, how we can effectively share students' work with their peers, I think is important. I think that's something to really make sure that you don't skip that step, right? So you're building this community through a creative GIF. We want to make sure that you know how you can share this across your class and have students share it with each other. And the playlists feature in WeVideo is a fantastic way to do that. So we'll just briefly touch on that today as well. But this is fantastic. Let's I think what the cool part about what this show is going to do is it's going to present these ideas, and then Stu is going to jump in and actually show you in the editor how he created this. So but before we get into that, let's talk about the August Creative Challenge that this activity is a part of.
Yeah, so just briefly, we release creative challenges on the 1st of every month, and they run throughout the duration of the month. And we invite you to, whatever the prompt is, to create media for that prompt, share it to social media, and or submit via the link on this page. And we choose a winner at the end of every month. We send swag to that classroom. We announce it on social media. And all of the winners so far have been ecstatic to win. Their kids have been super excited. They've sent us pictures, of the students. Really, they've been really excited and honored to win this challenge and be recognized for their creativity and excellence. So you can always access those creative challenges from wevideo.com/creative-challenges. That's the webpage.
Let me get that up as a banner real quick here.
Yeah. And if you go to wevideo.com, the homepage, where when you're not logged in, you can also always find those under resources, and you'll find creative challenges linked there as well.
Yep. There's the URL for you folks to grab that. That'll be in the show notes as well. That'll take you to all the challenges, and then the specific link to this challenge is here. It's just another / tag on the end with my -personality -GIF.
Right. Yeah. And like Ryan mentioned, all the past challenges are down here as well. So even though we're not running them, you can always run these activities in your classroom and
Yep.
maybe run a challenge between the different classes that you teach or across classrooms or within the school. That could be fun. Though you'll find,
Pick a teacher, another teacher from your grade level that you like to compete with, and
right? Yeah,
have at it with these creative
that'd be
challenges.
super fun,
Which
right?
is the most creative classroom at your school? That's I think a really cool way to incite some friendly competition and get creativity going amongst various classrooms at the school.
Totally. What a fun like first week, second week activity to run, getting back to school. Like your kids will have fun, they'll get excited about your class. It'll help build community across classes and within the school. I think that's a great idea. So yeah, the current challenge is always linked from that page. And so this month's, like we said, is the My Personality GIF. You'll always find an example of what that looks like, which we've been looking at on that slide.
Yep.
This one shows a tutorial video for teachers, how to assign this activity. It has a tutorial video for students, how to complete the activity. And then you'll find a link to submit your videos for a chance to win prizes. And then you'll also always find instructions of how to find the activity in the assignment ideas library. You'll find tutorial videos. This one's a more generalized tutorial video on video editing, and then instructions for sharing to social media, like Ryan said, with tagging WeVideo and then the hashtag WeVideoCreative as well.
All right, very cool. And again, these come out every month. So this episode, right, we're running it today on August 20th, but that means you have only a few more days of August to produce this challenge if you're learning about it for the first time today. But not to worry, like Stu said, these are challenges you can do all year. And we're going to have one rolling out in September that we'll be detailing on this show as well. So if you feel like, oh, I'm feeling rushed or I'm not even back to school yet, just know that we're going to have one for September, October, November as well. So be on the lookout for those. And we'll always share the activity and let you know about that challenge during an episode of this show.
Yeah.
And so, go ahead. Yep.
I was just going to say too, if you're coming back to school in September, you didn't get to run this activity in August, run it in September, and like you could still submit. I mean, we may have already picked the winner, but we'd still love to see what you create. You can still share to our WeVideo community via social media.
Always.
We'd still love to see that. We'd love to repost what you create. So share it with us.
Yeah, for sure. And that's always something that we value, is seeing our users their work and celebrating that on social. So all right, so this is the challenge. We have the activity. Let's make one. I think that I love your example, and I'd love to see how you kind of approach that and where you start, and what users can expect when they get in there to facilitate this for students.
Cool. Yeah. I'm going to show you that. Before I show you how to create it, I just want to show teachers how to assign this activity. It's super easy and quick and really requires very little prep on your end. Maybe you want to create your own example, and I'll show you how to do that to share with students. But as far as assigning the activity, I mean, you can just log into WeVideo at wevideo.com, navigate down to assignment ideas. If you haven't created classes in WeVideo yet already, you can go to classes and create your classes and roster students. But once you've created your classes, you can navigate to assignment ideas, and you'll find a slew of media projects and activities in here that are ready to go for you to assign to your students. The My Personality GIF one is here. So to assign it to your students, all you do is preview it. You've got student instructions and a video, a little intro video there. You've got some teacher instructions over here, and then a media bin and a starting block. So you just save the activity to your class, select the class. We'll go with history, and save it to a class. You get a little banner. You can jump over to your class.
But you can also create a class right from that.
You can.
That pop-up that comes up when you're previewing and you're ready to save it to a class. If you haven't created a class yet, through the classes tab, create one right there and send the assignment to it there, even before rostering your students. You don't have to have any students in your class to create assignments.
Totally. Yeah, right where I selected history, there's an option to create a class. So you could also just do it right there. So for this one, you can edit the assignment, or you can just go ahead and assign it right there. I'll just show you quickly as far as editing the assignment. you can modify this if you want to change the instructions at all. One thing to pay attention to, this is set up as a GIF. So what students create is going to be processed as a GIF. If you want them to add like music or audio or voice recording, you can change that to video and they'll be able to create a video. Just make sure you know which one you want to select ahead of time and select that. If you want students to work in teams, maybe they each add a video clip and create one as a team, or find things that they have in common. You could make this a collaborative assignment.
Yep.
And then this one comes with a starting block. You can modify this to create like your own example there, or if you want to modify it, you can, or remove it and have students create from scratch. You can. I'm going to leave it because I want to show you how students would use the starting block to quickly complete this activity, and then I'll show you also how you and students can create something like this from scratch as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go ahead and assign this activity, and voila, we're good. It is live now for students. So
super easy, super quick. It's great.
Yeah. So you were asking about how to create this.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's jump into that. So I'm logged in here as a student. So this is how a student can now like complete that assignment, right? So all I'm going to do is navigate to classes. I'm going to open the class history, and I see the assignments that I have to do here. I see the My Personality GIF. I'm just going to click Jump In. That pops me to the editor. There's a little clipboard icon over here in the top right. If I click on that, I can access the instructions for the assignment and the sample video that we talked about. So they can access they could also access any resources that are linked here if I had linked anything into the instructions.
Yeah, that instructions box is a rich text editor, so you can add a bulleted list, a numbered list, hyperlinks to other resources, and that students will have access to through that clipboard icon in their editing space.
Awesome. And so like I mentioned, this one is set up with a starting block, so a template in the timeline. So that's why we already see some media in the project bin here, and we see some media on the timeline. And you'll notice instead of just having an audio, video, and text track like the editor typically has, we see some additional tracks here, video 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's set up for this assignment already. And look how easy it is now for students to complete this assignment. They can, of course, import their own media if they have media that they've have from their personal life. Maybe you give them a day or two to go out and shoot some media. The neat thing about that is that then you're getting this window into their life that like you wouldn't otherwise get, right? You're getting to see actual clips from their life, the places that they like to spend time, the things they like to do.
Totally.
So you can have them import their own media. For this demo, I'm just going to use the stock media library, which you can also use. And so I'll just search some things that I enjoy. So let's see.
While you're searching there, you can also choose to have this be blank when students jump in. If you're not interested in using a scaffold like this starting block, you can select in the design process of the assignment to have a blank timeline.
Yeah. So where I was showing you where the starting block was when I was editing the assignment, there's a button you can click to just remove it if you don't want it to. Yeah. So I'm noticing that these clips are 13 seconds long. So I'm just going to look for a clip that's slightly longer than that, just so I can show you this. So this one's 19 seconds. There's this one's 21 seconds. We'll do this one. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag this down, drag it over the clip that's there, and choose replace. The guy is rocking out. And you'll notice that I replaced the clip that was there with the new clip, and it matches the previous clip. So it trimmed the new clip down from 19 seconds down to 13 seconds.
Yep.
So
automatically that you didn't do anything to he didn't trim that clip at all. You just hit replace when he dropped it over the existing clip, and it did it for him.
Yep. And then it also scaled and positioned the clip down where the other clip was. So it's positioned now as part of this 4 quadrant. So I don't have to do any of that editing. So super quick. Let's see. I'll just kind of complete this real quick. Ryan, if you have anything you want to say while I'm doing this, I'm just going to kind of show you how quickly students could complete this activity with the scaffold.
I think an important component to consider is you can build this whole thing with stock media We have over 1 million pieces of stock media library. If you're not familiar, if you're new to WeVideo, there's a ton. I mean, you can find almost everything in there that students might want to include as part of their My Personality gift. But if you have the time to spend, I would encourage you to allow students to use their own media. It really personalizes the experience. Like you saw Stu's project was all media that he had shot, right? Or that he'd created himself. Either from still images like he mentioned, or from short video clips that he had uploaded. And really, if they have the ability to, you can have them load it right from their phone into the WeVideo media library. We'll run it. We'll do. That's a good idea for an episode. As I'm thinking about this, is the mobile app. But what you can do is actually have those pieces of media uploaded from there or right from their device.
Yeah, the mobile app's great. We should do an episode on that. So as you saw while Ryan was talking, I finished this project and pretty quickly, right? And to Ryan's point, you absolutely have them upload their own media, and like I said, you can do that from the project bin or the uploads tab. Super quick and easy. I mean, that adds a few more minutes to this project, but still really quick, right? So I'm done. So I'm going to turn this in. And actually, before I turn this in, let me just show you that I'm just going to jump back over to the teacher view. And I just want to show you that from the teacher view, when you open that assignment, you go to the class, social studies, you open the assignment, you'll see your students that have turned in their work. You'll see your students that are in progress. You'll see your students who haven't started yet. For the students who are in progress, you can view progress. You can actually open the editor. You can see what they're doing in real time. You can drag the playhead. You can leave comments.
Yep.
I love these images. Maybe give them a little bit of feedback or encouragement. But yeah, you can leave comments in the editor. They can respond. They can leave comments and ask questions. You can respond. If students are collaborating, they can leave comments and have a comment stream where they can communicate with each other about their work. And you can even add to the project too as the teacher if you want to help them out. So yeah,
you want to go to that student view and show what it looks like when the student gets a comment, how they know? How would I know? How would that student that you were working on, how would they know that their teacher had left a comment?
So yeah, let me add. I'll just add another comment real quick. And I'll jump over to the student view. So students will know that they have a comment when they navigate to the class and they see their assignments. If there's a comment, they'll see a little comment bubble icon here. And when they jump into the editor, that comment, they can find the comments. They'll see these dots here at the top of the timeline, and those indicate that there are comments. They can click those to reveal them. Like I said, they can respond and they can click through the comments that way as well.
So cool. Create that dialogue within the editor.
We'll just be polite and respond to our teacher. So yeah, so this project's done. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this in. We get this awesome, I love this star animation.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that this project now lives in my turned in section of this class instead of my to do section. And so I can always access my turned in projects. This one's processing for a minute, but from my one that's done processing, as a student, I can always unsubmit if I need to keep working. I can add subtitles to my work, auto-generated subtitles. I can download, or I can always share a link to my project, or share it to Google Drive, YouTube, or OneDrive if those are turned on.
Yep, and exactly if they're turned on, and all of these features, if you are a teacher role, will be controlled by your admin. So if you're not seeing the sharing options, or students are not seeing some of the download or share options, it's likely that your admin has disabled those features. So always check in just to be sure of what you have accessible to you. There's lots of different privacy measures that WeVideo has that admins can put into place. So if you're finding that you want the students to have the ability to share, I would just check in with your admin to see what your school or your district's policy is on that.
Great. Yeah. So then I want to show you guys how to create this from scratch. So I'm just I need to jump into a different account here.
Okay.
So Ryan, if there's anything else you want to share.
Just one thing to keep in mind also is that we didn't show is that you'll have an option as a teacher. You'll be able to see all the students turned in work, and those turned in projects will also appear in your exports tab. And so once you have collected all of the students turned in work, you can then roster those videos as a playlist and share them with the entire class. Like we were talking about, not skipping that step where we're sharing work. If you want to do this as a whole group project, you have that ability to share the students' work with all of the students in the class, and they can access that playlist and watch everybody's GIFs, or display it on your smartboard or projector or whatever it is that you're utilizing to share work in the class. It's a great way to kind of bookend the activity.
Awesome. So yeah, to create this activity from scratch, and this could be done through the assignment flow like we showed, just without including the starting block. I am going to do this just creating on my own. So if you want to just create your project on your own outside of the assignment flow, you can just click create, or you can use the drop down to select the specific project type. I'm going to go ahead and just click. Actually, I'll set this up as a GIF. So I'll create a GIF here. And I see, since it's set up as a GIF, I've got 3 video tracks. I don't have an audio track because I don't need audio. And I see a little marker here that is indicating that the length of media I'm allowed to create for a GIF, which is 45 seconds. That's the maximum length. So I would then just go ahead and start to build out my project. I've already started a project that has the media that I want for this. So I'm going to open that up. And so this media is in my project bin here. And like I said, to upload that media, it's just clicking import and then, selecting the source, whether that's your desktop or Google Drive or OneDrive, to import that media. So to create this project, I've in this project, it's set up as a video. So I've got an audio, video 1, and text 1 track. So I'm just going to modify this to be video 2. I'm going to add 2 tracks here, video 3 and video 4. Now I'm set up the way I want to. I'm just going to click and drag my media down to the timeline, and maybe trim this a little bit to start it kind of where I want it to. And then to get this oriented the way that I want to, I'm just going to double click on this piece of media. From the transform tool, I can adjust the scale up and down, and then I can click and drag to move this around, or I can use X and Y coordinates to move it around. I happen to know that 0.5 is a good scale for this.
To get that 4-quadrant feel, so that 0.5, that's something that you can just mark down as this will fit 4 images to scale within a rectangle.
Yeah. Yeah. And then something that's helpful for this is to turn the grid on, and then you can kind of try to align the blue edges of your media clip with the red crosshairs there that show the middle, both horizontally and vertically. So you can turn that on to help with that. And then you may even just adjust the X and Y to be nice round numbers. You can do that too. I was at -2, super close to 0. So I'll just adjust that to 0, 0. And so I'm just going to do that with each clip now. So I'll do that with this one. Double click on there. As you can see, my love for jazz on there with the clip there from the radio show. And again, you can turn the grid on. Helps with alignment.
It's a super underutilized feature. I feel like this really helps you be more precise with scaling your images and the placement of where you want, if you're using overlays that we'll show in a future episode, that this grid is a really great way to be really precise.
Yeah. And of course, I'm going to want my Y coordinates to be the same between those 2 clips. So, 0 on both of those works great. And so I'll just go do that with the other 2 images as well. And we're going to want these to all be the same length so that, our media doesn't play and
Mhm.
then we have like 3 black squares, empty squares, and then
Right.
just one with a piece of media. So we want
Bad
to trim those
visual.
down
Yeah.
to be the same length. And again, this one's a little different. It's a square image, so the scale is probably going to be a little bit different. So we'll just kind of have to eyeball this one a little bit. And again, we'll use.
Yeah, and that's a good point. If the images are different orientation, so portrait versus landscape, it's going to take a little bit of finagling. You won't be able to use that sort of best practice of the 0.5 scale with everything if you're not using images that are all the same orientation. But no matter, right? This is just including at least a partial pieces of media, or like Stu wasn't able to fit that whole image in there, but got enough to share his ideas there. So
Yeah, and still super easy to edit it in there. And then I like to just turn the grid off and like make sure everything's lined up. That actually looks really great. You can kind of blow it up if you need to. So I've blown up this image. I can actually see there's a little space in between the two bottom images along the vertical axis. So I'm going to just make a fine adjustment there, and I can actually adjust from the preview window even.
yep.
So I'll just select the piece of media I want to adjust, and I'm just going to slightly move it over. And that seems to have done it, but I can also come in here and just double check that everything looks good.
Yeah, and that makes
So
it very easy to fix or move things or make tweaks. That you can do it right from the preview window itself as well.
yeah. And then the last thing I wanted to show you, I mentioned that I actually animated the the watercolor image. So if I play this right now, it's going to look like this. Okay. I wanted to animate that a little bit so it kind of has some movement just like the other images. So I'm just going to add an additional track. And I had searched the stock media library for like tie-dye. And I found this cool clip. I might have searched watercolor actually even. So I'm just going to drag that down, make sure it's matched up with the clips, the length. And then I'll double click on that and I'm going to scale it down as well. And just move it over this clip. I might even come in here and turn on the grid just to get it aligned perfectly. And then I'm just gonna, right now I can't see the clip, the image underneath it at all, because the video editor works like layers, and so the top layer is the front layer in the image. So I'm just gonna bring this opacity down. Let's turn the grid off so we can
So cool.
better. And so now we're seeing the watercolor painting under the watercolor animation. So it kind of almost looks like it's almost being painted live in a way.
Yeah.
They're still kind of wet or whatever. Might bring that down a little bit, just bring it up. It's just adjusting until you find, yeah, maybe 50 was the right. That's pretty good, actually, I think.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So I'm just going to adjust these all because I think that watercolor was slightly shorter than the rest of these. And it's always good to preview your work before you export. So we'll just preview this real quick. Looks good. Length is all matched up. I still see a slight line of space in there in the middle, so I would make that fine adjustment. But I think you guys get the idea there. But yeah, so once I'm done, I would just go ahead and export. I always make sure that you name your projects up here too.
Yep. Because you don't want a whole bunch of my projects popping up in the project bin.
Yeah, and if you want to give it a specific image too on the project file, you can always come up here and click save, and that'll save the image wherever this playhead is as the thumbnail for your project. But I'm going to go ahead and export, and I'll choose GIF, and you can choose the resolution you want. Medium works great for me. If you want to send it directly to Google Drive, you can. I'm going to go ahead and export. And so that'll take a moment to process. But I can always find that project if I want to continue editing or edit a new version of it. I can always find that from the projects tab and click edit. I can always find my exports for that project by clicking view. Like I said, that one's processing, or navigating to exports here.
And it'll appear without a thumbnail while it's processing. Once it processes, it'll pop a little thumbnail in there for you.
Yeah.
All right, Stu, that was great. Just a quick and easy project to complete. And again, we showed you two sort of philosophies here, I guess you could say. One is you use that starting block with students and you let them swap in the media, either using the stock media library or importing from their own devices, or you build it from scratch through the projects tab. And I think that's kind of, it's a instructional decision that you can make, knowing where your students are at with media. Perhaps that scaffolded project, that methodology is going to be better for you at the beginning of the year. And then you kind of remove those training wheels, so to speak, and you allow for that blank canvas approach later on down the line. But I think two great ways that we've showed you kind of how to create and make that My Personality GIF to start creating community in your classroom.
Yeah. That's I'm excited to see, what you all do with this. And again, we love to see what you create. So
share
like
with
we
us,
said,
please.
Please share with us. The Creative Challenge runs through the end of August. Submit your students' work. They'll be excited about the chance to be chosen as the winners for that challenge. And it's something that'll motivate them to get into the project and do their best work. And I think we know that, building community in your classroom, it pays dividends for the rest of the school year.
Absolutely.
When students respect each other, they feel comfortable in the space, they feel confident, they feel connected to each other. That just maximizes the learning opportunity throughout the rest of the school year. So take this time, and this is a super fun activity to do that.
Absolutely. And share, tag us at WeVideo, and make sure you use that hashtag WeVideo Creative. And again, for the submit through August 31 to be chosen as a winner. So we'll send out swag and highlight you on social media. But again, this is just a great activity. You don't have to do that. You don't have to participate in the challenge to do this activity. Highly encourage you to do that. Thanks for joining us today. That's going to wrap our very first episode of Quick Tips with WeVideo. Wasn't as quick as we thought because we had to set up some stuff at the intro, let you know about this series. If you liked what you saw today, if you made it this far into the video, please give us a little like and subscribe to our channel. Click that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on all of the great content we're going to be running through the back to school time period and beyond. And with that, we'll say goodbye to all of you now and hope to see you again next week. But until then, happy creating. Bye now.